Now, Mason Graham, again, they took him with the 5th overall pick. I don't have an issue with that. He's a really good defensive tackle. Some think 5 is kind of high for a DT. Former defensive tackle Gerald McCoy explains why DTs are so important in this NFL. This from the Ross Tucker podcast.
We've seen Chris Jones have a lot of dominant games.
Yeah.
One of the most dominant games I've ever seen him have was this past AFC Championship, and nobody knows it because they're not looking for it. What he did to those offensive linemen is demoralizing. He was literally like taking grown men every play, regardless of if it was a run or pass, and putting them 4 yards in the backfield. As an offensive lineman, you know, that's constantly happening. At some point, you're going to be like, all right, enough is enough.
Right.
When you have a guy like that's doing that, it is demoralizing to an offense because now the play caller is saying, hey, listen, whatever we do, understand this person is going to be there that fast. So you have to get it together. And to your point, back to team building, you got to get a guy who can throw the ball, and then you got a guy who can go get the guy who can throw the ball. So we think about quarterback, and then we think about our blindside defensive ends. Well, the game is evolving. It's a lot of lateral runs.
Yeah.
It's not downhill anymore. So how do you kill finesse offenses, side-to-side runs with penetration?
Yep.
If you're getting guys on the end, we talk about defense, guys set the edge, which makes everything funnel back to the middle of the defense. But when you have side-to-side runs, a guy in the middle who's poking a hole in that run, that's what messes everything up.
G. Bush, you will understand exactly that because that's where he played. He and Myles Garrett together should be pretty good.
Yeah, I'll throw in, and I'll play devil's advocate a little bit before I get to the good stuff. The devil's advocate is you got Mike Hall Jr. last year.
Yeah.
If you're a Travis Hunter guy and you love the fact that you don't like the fact that Travis Hunter is not a Cleveland Brown, you can say, well, listen, how much assets and how much money are we going to put on the defensive front? We've always brought in another pass rusher, whether it's Darius Smith or Jadeveon Clowney or Olivier Vernon. Most of our money, we talk about free agents, Shelby Harris was a guy. Dalvin Tomlinson was our biggest free agent a couple of years ago. They got in free agency and get the pass rusher from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who was a former first-round pick. So some people are going to say, look, I get it. But you've really put a lot of emphasis and put a lot of different things on the front seven. Like you drafted Perion Winfrey in, I believe, in the 3rd or 4th round. Siaki Ika was a guy up there that you had put up, had drafted. Tommy Togiai. Those guys didn't pan out. At some point, you want to spread it around and get you some guys to actually put the ball in the end zone. But with that being said, they made the pick at 5. Now, if he's at 5, here's what I'm going to say. Aaron Donald didn't go 5. Warren Sapp didn't go 5. Those are 2 of the best defensive tackles I've seen play. If you're going to be at 5, you better be a day one starter. I don't want to see no rotating. I don't want to say he's behind whoever they got up there. I don't want to see it out. He better be a day one starter. As a matter of fact, there's no reason not to be playing Big Ten football inside. It should be Mike Hall and it should be Mason Graham. Boom, boom, boom. They should be in there. Now, what you want to get from them is that penetration. What you want to do is get that penetration, and it's a really good fit for what Jim Schwartz wants to do. He wants to play the run on the way back to the quarterback. He wants penetration. He wants guys to be athletic in there. And the Cleveland Browns should be good at that area. Here's the thing. We still need to see what's going to go on with the linebacker unit. I see why they got Schlesinger. He's a guy who is basically going to be the JOK. He's going to take his position. We'll see what happens with JOK. I don't think he's going to be playing this year. I think it's a long-term thing if he plays ever again. This is just me coming from a guy who has neck issues. But the defensive line should be good. The defensive line should be one of the strengths of the team. But he better be starting day one at 5th pick. I'm just saying 10. I'm telling you that right now. You pass on Travis Hunter, he better be good.
You know what? He better make Myles Garrett better too. I'll take it a step further. He better free up Myles Garrett a little bit to go and play like he did a couple years ago when he won Defensive Player of the Year.